Hello, welcome to another edition from the Bars to the Bricks Prison Ministries Incorporated. I'm Kev, your favorite felon. Today, we are going to talk about recidivism and your responsibility. Let me get started by saying please hit that like button, subscribe. Let's get them numbers of subscribe numbers up. Let's hit that like button, comment. I want to know what you guys got to say. I want to hear your comments, suggestions for videos, stuff you'd like to hear about. What do you want to learn about? My experiences, part of something in particular to that. Um, anyway, any of that. Comment. I love interacting with my viewers and getting to know my viewers. So anyway, without further ado, recidivism and public responsibility. So what do I mean by that? Isn't shouldn't recidivism, that's on them, on the person getting out? Shouldn't matter public responsibility. There's no public responsibility. What do you mean? But isn't there? So I did a paper back several years ago, and I was president of the JCs, and Eric actually has that paper somewhere. He's going to dig it up. But I'm talking about, I can't remember the exact title, but I talk about how, like, when someone's convicted of a crime, the public outcry, the legislative outcry, and all that, throw them away, lock them up, throw away the key, do away with them, to heck with them, we don't want to deal with them. But reality, 95% of people are coming out of prison. 95% of people in the prison system are going to be out one day. So now here's the thing. They can come out better or they can come out bitter. I'm going to tell you this much. The system does not focus a whole lot on rehabilitation. In fact, when you are trying to do good, you are trying to rehabilitate, you are trying to walk a straight and narrow path, help other people, and do good things, the more attention it brings to the officers, they want to mess with you. The black suits want to shake your house down. EAI thinks you're up to something. Nobody helps you. You're an inmate. You can't be doing stuff like that. Why would you want to help people? Why would you want to change? Why would you want to do good? You got to be up to something. And I'm going to do a whole video on that one day. But is recidivism solely upon the individual? You know, granted, change and desire to change comes from within. And no matter what you did, someone, I believe, personally, as long as someone has the mental capacity and the desire, they can change. So, but here's the thing. When you got a guy that all they've known is a criminal lifestyle, or even not even that, what if a guy that has a productive lifestyle, a good job, a family, this and that, some life event, unfortunate mistake, bad decision or whatever, lands him in prison for a period of time. He comes out. Now he's got that crime over him. Especially if you're released to a smaller area where they know you, people sometimes scrutinize. And, it's hard to find jobs, harder to find housing, harder to find stuff. That's where public responsibility comes in. If a guy comes out of prison, he has nowhere to go. He has nowhere to work, no means of support, no way of surviving. Then what's he going to resort to? He's going to go back to do something wrong against the law where he can go back to prison. Because that way, he's got a bed. He's got a roof. Electric's paid. Heat's on. Air conditioner don't work so well most facilities because most facilities don't have one. That's a joke. Well, they have a couple facilities in Kansas that have air conditioning. But, it's food. Don't have to worry about none of that. So if I'm not come out and I don't feel welcome and stuff in the community, you got to be a strong fighter sometimes and fight through that. You're going to have naysayers. I run into naysayers all the time. But you know what? Hey, that's on them. Their opinion. That means I must be doing something right if they're hating. I mean, I don't, and hating for their own reasons. Whatever. Everybody's entitled to their own opinions. But just keep pushing. Is it frustrating? Absolutely. Does it get down sometimes? It just pressure and just get so overwhelming? Mm-hmm. But that's where that support system comes in. You get a support system when you're getting out. If you're someone that's just getting out of prison, find you somebody. Find that buddy, that mentor, that person's going to lead you in the right direction, that has your best interest at heart. The guy that's going to say, don't do that line, bro. Don't throw this stuff away. Or don't go do this or do that. Don't go break the law here. Or don't, self-destruct, whatever. Get that person that's going to tell you that stuff you don't want to hear and get you back on track. But anyway, so I understand people want to control crime and people want safer neighborhoods. People want, they want to feel safe. But the reality is, even people in your neighborhood, if they're not convicted of a felony, they could be the next predator. They could be this and that. Crimes happen everywhere. Now, I'm not saying that apartment complexes, trailer parks, neighborhoods, whatever, that have these no felon rules, if they take these down, that the crime won't go up a certain amount in that community. But here's the thing. The more the community is involved with these people and helps these people along, not help out or help them up, just a help up, not handouts, help out, help up, encouragement. Man, that guy don't have a job or something, there's a felon. Hey, man, what do you do? Oh, man, okay. Yeah, you're a cook. I know this restaurant. I got a buddy over here, or I know this place over here that's always hiring. They serve good food. They pay good. Um, and more importantly, if you know that they hire felons, that put on that they let guys know they hire felons. Um, any of you guys that know somebody that's getting ready to get out of prison or whatever, a friend or whatever, help them out. Help them get. It's frustrating. There's a lot to do when you first come out. There is a whole lot to do, and it can be overwhelming and almost debilitating. So there's just so much you just want to just shut down, especially if you've done a lot of time. And the more you can't do it, this and that you hear, I don't want you in my neighborhood, the more discouraged people get. I'm the type of person, I won't eat at Wendy's. You can't buy me Wendy's. And I'm a very, very polite person. Usually someone brings me food, buys me food, makes me food or whatever, even something I don't like. I was raised, you eat it, and you say thank you. Wendy's, I also was raised to stand on my morals and my values and what I believe in. Wendy's don't hire felons. Well, if you won't hire a felon, you won't hire me or people coming out of prison, whatever, then you don't need a felon's money. That's just how I see it. But Wendy's employs people inside the prison system for pennies to do their dirty work. But they won't hire them on the outside. So I won't eat there. Public responsibility. Now, I'm not saying open up your doors. Let these people come over and invite them over for dinner the first time you meet them, this and that. No. You definitely want to be aware. But also at the same time, Try not to pass judgment. Try to be open-minded that a person can change, that maybe this person wants to change, and help facilitate that change, help guide them. You know, it goes back to the old adage, in the Bible, it talks about it takes a village to raise a child. Well, sometimes as convicts coming out of prison, especially if we've done a lot of time, we're not far off from a child. I done 13 years in a day. Got locked up December 21st of 2004, and I got out 2017 on December the 22nd. You know how much has changed between '04 and 17? Wow. Uh, these didn't do more than make a call, a text. You could check an email, but you didn't get the whole email. I mean, it wasn't it wasn't nothing like there are now. There was no Facebook, YouTube. There was none of this stuff. And it was just so crazy to have right here in your hand, just the power of everything. It's a computer. You know, uh, it's crazy. But I had people around me that helped. But I still was set in my own ways. Ended up going back for a spell and finally got out of Wichita. And life's a lot better. That's where my best support system was, and that's this is where I belong. So I don't want to make this a long video. I'll go into more detail on this more at another time, but we got to understand. I encourage people, go to the U.S. Department of Justice, look up the statistics for different crimes. From sex crimes to murder to kidnapping, drugs, burglaries, so on and so forth. They've got the statistics for everything. And then these statistics, they have statistics too that on these different offenders, the recidivism for that same crime. That's an important thing on recidivism numbers, because like your numbers with KDOC and this and that are not accurate. Whatever your worst crime is, and then every crime thereafter, every time you go back to jail, you go back on, it's numbers against that every crime before. So, and especially your worst. And so, that makes a difference in the recidivism numbers. But the U.S. Department of Justice, they have accurate, they break them down and talk about parole violations, stuff like that, versus a new crime. And so it's really interesting data. Like I said, for my ministry followers, my fellow Christians, my fellow believers, this is a call out to you guys. This is what we're called to do as Christians. We're called to accept people, forgive people, and to help people. To show them Christ's love. To show them a better way. If you don't show me the way, I'll never know a better way. So, a lot of times recidivism is up to the environment that someone is released to. Because of that, they can't employ them as the number one reason for recidivism, poverty. Right with it, homelessness. Part of that is on people getting out. Some people don't want to help themselves. But the other part of that is that hard time finding a house that'll rent to them. They don't have no credit. You've been in prison for all these years. No credit, no rental history. If they do allow felons, now you got these other hurdles. Because you don't have a rental history. I mean, you don't have credit, you was locked up. If you're locked up over 10 years, you have no credit. It took me a couple years. I'm finally building my credit up. I'll tell you what, in mid-40s and no credit, try getting credit. I got denied for prepaid credit cards. Prepaid cards. Yeah. It took forever to start being able to build my credit up and all that. And people understand bad credit is better than no credit in your mid-40s. It looks shady, for one. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Do your part. Help people succeed. You see someone going down the wrong path, hey man, put your arm around them, guide them, pull them in. Hey, what's up, man? How can I help? Maybe you shouldn't put your arm around them. Depends on who they are. You know what I mean. So you get the idea. But let's help our fellow man. Don't be a stumbling block to somebody coming out of jail, especially if you Christians. We don't cause another Christian to stumble. Don't be it. Don't. No. Anybody else? It's just being a good person, man. Don't cause somebody to stumble. Don't create an issue if there's not one. If someone's trying to do good and honestly trying to help themselves, man, try to do what you can. Anyway, thank you guys. Like, subscribe, comment. Hit that alert button so you can get that ding, ding, ding every time I upload. You can check them out. I will see y'all later. I'm Kev. I'm your favorite felon, and I'm out.